Hi, Mark Bezek here on location. I happen to be in my own office, and we're going to talk a little bit today about No Child Left Behind, the federal legislation that we're mandated to follow because we accept federal funds, and also the concept of AYP, adequate yearly progress, either making or not making that. A little later in our program here, we'll be talking to Joe Stangler, who is our Director of Testing and Assessment, and we'll get a little bit better picture, a little bigger picture of the whole testing dynamic in the district. The first piece about adequate yearly progress, or AYP as it's called, when you accept federal funds, your buildings have to raise to a certain level. There's benchmarks that you have to hit with the kids in their testing. And if you don't hit these benchmarks, there are different reform strategies to assure that you do make those over a period of several years. Today with me, I have Principal Erin Talley of Otsego Elementary School. Welcome, Erin.
Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit about what's been happening over there this year. Obviously, you've been working for a year on the AYP issues and the restructuring, and the board granted a sizable chunk of money to implement a new program that's really never been done anywhere else before. And so it was really a model, a new system, and a new adventure for you and for the staff. And why don't you tell us a little bit about how we got there and then how it's gone so far this year.
Okay. How we got here is we had not made adequate yearly progress in math and reading for several years, and we were given the challenge of what can we do to make our students learn better and set up the conditions for students to succeed. So we were given the charge of looking at 9 different options or plans of how to make Otsego different. And the option that collectively we decided on was to restructure our school to a school within a school model. So we have some cross-grade level teams. We have some academy time that we are working with kids specifically on developing mathematics skills. And we're also co-teaching, which means that we are having the teachers work with each other and collaborate with each other to make learning happen better for kids.
So you say there was 9 different options, and you said collectively. So this was a decision that was made, with administration, with district administration, with your staff. Were there parents? Was this a community?
Yes, we did. We do have a parent representative on our AYP leadership team. Also on our AYP leadership team is Rebecca Colin, who is our Resource and Training Advisor through the Department of Education and Resource Training and Solutions in St. Cloud. We have district administration. We have teachers from a variety of subject areas, from the arts, from the content areas, from special ed. And then we have administration as well.
So when last year did you start planning this? Because I think you've been under kind of construction with this for about a year, haven't you, before we implement?
I think our AYP team started looking at options after our plan was approved last year. So I'm thinking it was about December, January of last year. Maybe even before that, seeds would have been planted. But it's been a very well thought out process.
So let's jump to the results now.
Okay.
Monday at the board meeting, you had a presentation there, talked about some of the different dynamics of the program and what have you. But I guess the real kicker was the results, and share a little bit about that because it's exciting.
It is exciting. In our grades 3, 4, and 5 in both math and reading, we had significant gains in all 6 areas. And based on our adequate yearly progress status, it is a reason to celebrate, and we're excited. But it is a point in time. It's a growth that we're excited to share, and that we hope will translate into our MCA scores as well, since they are predictors for MCA's success.
Now, with the results that were brought to us Monday night, very impressive, but that's just a benchmark. That's just a spot in time right now. We got a lot of work to go, don't we?
We do. As I said before, this is a growth measure. It is indicating that we are going to have great success on the MCA test scores, but there's a lot of work yet to do that we have from the administration, from our teaching staff, from the students, and also from the parents. We're not done yet, but we're heading in the right direction. Lots of work yet to do.
Yeah, well, like any good program, though, you have to step along the way and take a look and see how things are going, and the old monitor and adjust. If things are working, great. Can they work even better? So that's the path you're on.
Right. And I strongly believe that our staff and our students are well worth the investment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
With me now, I have Joe Stangler, who is our Director of Testing and Assessment. And Joe, maybe just a little bit of your take in a broad view, your thoughts and your definition of AYP, not making AYP or No Child Left Behind, to kind of give our viewers a little insight into what we're dealing with here.
Well, Adequate Yearly Progress, or AYP, is a designation from the federal government and the state government for schools and districts through No Child Left Behind, the federal document that governs schools and Title I and Title III programs. And AYP is Adequate Yearly Progress, which means we're making progress towards our goals. The determination of AYP is made by test results, and the test results that are used for determining AYP are predominantly the Minnesota Comprehensive Assessments, or the MCAs, which are taken in April. We use a variety of tests prior to administrating the MCA to determine if we are on track, if our students are learning and growing and reaching the goals that are set out for us by the state through the MCAs.
You know, when you look at our district, and hopefully you can shed some light on this, you know, we're doing a lot of good things around the district. Your take on their test results?
As far as the test results go, our test results district-wide are very positive. We do several different assessments. Some of you may have heard of or be familiar with the NWEA, which is a computerized assessment that's used primarily in elementary and middle schools. We also use the DIBELS and the Ames web tests. All of them help us to know, are our students growing? Are they learning? Are they making progress towards the goals that we want to achieve? And in all cases, our progress is positive and demonstrating that we're making gains towards where we want to be.
Now, the results we saw on Monday night were from the NWEA tests, and that is given how many times during the year?
The NWEA test is given in grades 3 through 7, and talking specifically about Otsego, it's given in grades 3 through 5 at Otsego in reading and math. We administer the test in the fall and in the winter and in the spring. So we have 3 different points during the year that provides us with feedback on how we're doing at that point in time. So our first test administration occurred in September, and our last one, or the one we're in right now, just occurred during the month of January. So we're actually just wrapping it up. Some buildings are still doing the assessments. Some buildings have wrapped up, and others are just getting started.
Okay. You know, with the NWAs, the thing I've always liked about them or appreciate them, they show growth.
Yep.
They show curriculum alignment, and they show teacher effectiveness. So we can get right down to, you know, where do we need support, where do we need staff development, what have you. And I think Otsego is kind of a proven model right now that when you concentrate on these areas, we get good results.
Well, exactly, and we've been able to identify successful strategies throughout the district by looking at the results of the students who take these assessments. One good part, as you mentioned with the NWA, we are able to drill not just on a whole test level, but we're able to look at specific strands, as we call them, of the test. Strands are breakdowns. For example, in math, we have strands of algebra, geometry, number and operations, and data and statistics. So not only on the whole test can we see how the student is doing, but we can also identify the areas within math that a student may need more help, or they may need some acceleration or challenging programs because they're performing at a very high level. So it's not just to identify the students who are struggling, but it's a tool that can help us to identify the students who are going above and beyond and need additional challenges.
Great. Well, thanks for your time today, Joe.
You're welcome.
Well, I'd like to put a sincere thanks out to all of our teachers in the district and the hard work they're doing, and especially I'd like to single out Otsego. We knew this was going to be a specific targeted task this year with extra effort there with their school and their situation. They've done a fantastic job, and I just want to thank again all of our staff for the work you do with our kids. Thank you.